Welcome back to the Savage Land, and welcome to another episode of the Soapbox, and actually the first episode of Soapbox for 2024. So let's give a round of applause. Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? And I also got some special guests. Flav, do the honor.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year.
That's my new phrase this 2024. Don't make me call up Nino. And shall I say, 2024, we picking up new friends, and I'm getting smarter.
I must have figured out how to open doors.
I've never felt power like this before.
Now what you'll see in Soapbox, man, I kind of incorporated some cuts, like little special mixes, like little producer mixes, little sounds and samples.
That's it, I love it.
That everybody else use, man. I've been wanting to do it, but just ain't had really the time to explore. But man, the last half of last year was a pretty tough, rough ride for me, man, but we made it through because we rough riders. And now I can sit down and kind of think of how I want to go with my channel. That was one of the things I want to do, just something simple, but I needed the secret sauce, the secret sauce to get those little samples that you need, and you're gonna see them throughout. But today's probably gonna be mostly New Jack City because I got my boy Nino with me.
Yo, my boy Nino in the house. Yo, Nino, what's up?
Flav, wish him a happy new year again.
Happy New Year!
Alright, for those who are new here, Soapbox is basically a part of my channel, man, where I just kind of run my mouth and just kind of get off the subject of toys just a little bit. It's still heavily saturated with toys, but we sprinkle little stuff up on it, man, and it kind of jogs the memory a little bit, just kind of bring you back nostalgia stuff, pop culture, and people are really receptive to it, man. I don't want to sit up and talk about toys 24/7, but I do. But at the same time, I want to spark up other conversations. So if you're new here, this is what it's about. We usually do community. Community is basically what I've seen on Facebook, Instagram, just any interweb site, man, and just basically talk about it. Somebody did some cool pictures, we definitely do that. Other YouTube channels, I don't care. I'll shout out anybody. If I see something I think I'm receptive to it and other people receptive to it, I try to put it back out there. And then of course we got Gijoe, Gijoe, and we got some new samples to put in there too, because of course we know it's all about. Yes. So that is a heavy part of it. That Gijoe is Gijoe. I'm gonna let that run on its own segment, but it's also still part of Soapbox. But enough talking, because that's what we're gonna do here anyway. Let's jump right into community. And what I seen on Instagram is a guy named Jay's Figs showed off the 18 van from Ramen Toys. Looks pretty dope. I didn't really trust Ramen at first because far as them, I don't know too much about them. I know they've probably been around, not for a long time, but people have known them about, I guess, about 4 or 5 years. I don't know, maybe longer. But they came out with that, with the car, and that's look like it's getting to people. People look like they're having a good time with it, man. But this van, I'm definitely down for that. Definitely down for that. So we'll see what's up with that. But just waiting to see the feedback on it and see what more comes in. I know it's a small independent company, and it takes a little time to do things with them. So I'm gonna keep up pace with this right here. Also, this year I said I wasn't gonna be into too many Marvel Legends, but Archangel pre-order popped up a couple of days ago, and I definitely ordered that for $35.99. I think that's a great deluxe figure, man. I think things are probably gonna level back off this year. It's been a pretty rough couple of years as far as pricing and just shipments, things getting to stores, man. I think things are gonna start to begin to level off, and then in 2025 I think we'll have a full level off. But this price right here seems pretty good for this Archangel. I hope it isn't a bullshit figure. It looks dope, man, and I can't wait to see. I ordered 2. You know, on like the old days, I had to order 2 of that, which I'm not gonna be doing too many Marvel Legends, but that one is a definite must. A comic Archangel, not even Archangel, I guess Angel. This is a cool pic I seen on Facebook that brought me back to a time when I was a kid, and I still really don't know. Is Sabretooth naked, or is that his costume? But when you look, he has that little thing they all looks like to wear, like that band on their head, and he has hair that sticks out. You know his hair is kind of long and blonde. And I know I've seen him in man form from the older Wolverine comics. But what's the deal with that costume? I guess it's just a spandex with like more of this is fake fur right here, because he's not really that furry like that, man. So I never understood. But until I got into the deep lore of comics I seen before that, he really wasn't like that. He was more like a man. But I always thought he was ass naked running around, man. At McDonald's tonight. This picture right here says if you're old, you remember this. I do remember this. Like, this is not even 90, this is like 88. 87, 89, and McDonald's was just starting to get around to being open late night. You know what I'm saying? On like a 24-hour span, man. This is some nostalgia shit right here. Also, here's a cool pic that brought me back to actually the early 90s. Now, this to me is some 90s shit, but it's like late 80s too. But remember the scooters that were like, had like the bike tires and shit, man? Like that Huffy scooter, that was like everything. That was just like a bike too. Like for real. Like dudes would get around on those, man. And man, be honest with you, man, I'm such a collector. I wouldn't mind coming across some of these actual 80s Huffy bikes, man, and mongoose bikes. They look like ice cream. I mean, it just takes you back to a time. It takes you back like this fucking hat. Like when I see like this shark's tooth, you know, that 94, 95, I even see the starter jackets. You know what I'm saying? So that is cool, man. Hopefully I can come across some of those bikes someday in the future, man. I'm just a collector, to be honest with you. And finally, on community, Valaverse finally pops their head up out of the hole. And not like because they're coward or anything, but G.I. Joe has been doing some bombardment, and it was best to kind of stay down or you'll get swallowed. And right now is the beginning of the year, not too much is going on, and they have their winter selection up. And with their winter selection, also I said, and window clean, man, if you're watching this, I said I wasn't really too much interested in any Valaverse figs right now, but I am going to get this white Steel Brigade. I got the black one, I like that, and that is actually a hole that Valaverse still can fill in your G.I. Joe collection. They still found a way to get in there, because this white Steel Brigade, the figure is actually dope. I never really liked the original, the blue and green helmet. I don't care if it's some retro G.I. Joe to Valor. I just hate that colorway. That shit is ugly. But when they did the Big Bad Toy Store all black, that figure is dope. I actually have a couple of those. And I actually pre-ordered a couple of these white Steel Brigades. And I also got some white Snow Troopers. Now this picture up here is motherfuckers on the G.I. Joe theme, man. They crazy. They said you want a Winter Fresh troop or some double mint and shit. And I guess some people aren't feeling the colors. I actually like that white and green. Some people said they prefer white and gray, but I actually do have a gray vest. I'm gonna put on one of the white troopers. But as far as the white and green, I think I'm cool with that. And that last crop of figures that they put out, I'm really not too much interested in. If anything, I think I've convinced myself, not even convinced myself, what naturally went into progression is I'm only interested in kind of Valaverse troopers. And this was about a year ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking with the troops. I like that when I see them. And this is an opportunity to fill a hole that G.I. Joe really didn't have to press, but they damn sure the ones on their side, the Steel Ops side, that they're too ugly for me. I can't even deal with that. So these are good looking troops. I ordered me a couple of them, man. So when they come in, we'll see. And then also their Vanguard went up kinda for pre-order this week. It was like $99, but it was a mishap and people were like all over that shit, yo. I'm like, yo, it's gotta be a mistake, man. That's gonna get pulled back down. And of course it did. But they got news that it's gonna be up next week for its real price, $189. So for those who want that, it will be up and ready for you. One thing, I'll say a few things about that Vanguard. It's still not high on my interest list, but as far as a vehicle, I still think it looks pretty good. Is it what I want? Is it a grocery getter, like everybody else says? It's a regular looking truck with some military shit on it. Of course, it looks a little bit more civilian, but it's not high on my priority list. But I will say this one thing here. It's not, a cool thing about that is that it's not a crowdfund, and it will be there if you want it. So somebody like me is like, I'm not fucking with that right now, and I'm not at all. But a year from now, it's not like it's a window closed on that. So it gives you opportunity or availability. And then with me, it's gonna be like, you know what, man, I ain't brought shit. I mean, let me see what this thing is about. And that's the cool part about that Vanguard, man. So I would say, like, I'm the most logical person. I'm G.I. Joe all day, but I'll be logical with you on it. And then one more thing I didn't get to talk about from like a couple of weeks ago. Like, they put it up beside the His Tank, and it looked fucking huge. Let me tell you something, people. The His Tank is huge, man. Is it an average tank? No, of course, it's fucking fake. You know what I'm saying? But it's built on a tank design. And it's huge put up against those 6-inch figures. And with that truck beside it, like, dwarfing it. It almost looked like it was outsized, but you really won't know until you see it. Me, just the way Bobby Valaverse, I can see him doing shit. I'm gonna make my shit bigger. You know what I'm saying? Doing some shit like that to just try to trump G.I. Joe, but I think it was almost kind of superimposed by the angle. But it's truly something you won't see until you really get it in hand, man, to be quite honest with you. And it'd be quite honest with you, the bigger the fucking better. As long as it fits 6-inch figures, that's the only thing people should really worry about. You ain't got to modify and cut floors out and shit. But with the Vanguard, it'll be up next week, man. So if you want that, you can put your pre-order in on that. All right, time for weekly pickups. And today on weekly pickups is actually a haul I've been waiting for since last week. It just dropped today on Friday. Not a big one from Big Bad Toy Store. I won't be having those huge boxes like I used to. Who knows? But my mind is just not into collecting all over the place no more. I'm kind of a little bit more concentrated because I got everything I want. But ironically, this is a box, a small little pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store that's kind of spread across. And the first one I'm gonna pull up is live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one. Representing BK to the fullest. That's Super 7 Notorious B.I.G. Thoughts about this figure is, I think I'm gonna like it because of the likeness of Biggie. Just looking at the toy, you can never really get Biggie Smalls. Like, he's a very peculiar looking person. For one, he's tall, big, then he's got that eye that just goes everywhere at times. And he's not a very good looking guy, but his swagger is his persona, the way he presented himself, the way he carried himself, and he was very charismatic. He said he was a real funny dude, prevailed through all of that, but his likeness is very hard to get. But the likeness of Biggie Smalls, when somebody come in, they see the way you got this dressed up, they're gonna know it's Biggie. But we'll see. And I'm definitely doing a palette picks on my man Biggie, and I'm gonna just be rhyming verses the whole time, really. Next up is a figure that I've been wanting for a minute because I got so locked in on the Mayfax Superman, especially the Return of Superman and Reign of Superman. And this figure right here is the Superman from Hush. So I kind of got just kind of almost like a regular run-in-the-mill Superman. I've never really tapped into Hush, but I don't think it's a smiley type ordeal. So he doesn't have a smiley face or anything like that, but it's good to have almost like a regular proportioned Superman, or not something crazy going on with him, and this one will serve fine in my collection of Mayfax Superman. Next up is from a line I haven't really purchased anything like pre-ordered. Never in my life have I ever pre-ordered an MCU figure. Just if I seen it in the store, I got it. And not really have pre-ordered, except feels like X-Men, like some deep cut X-Men stuff. Marvel Legends. But I had to get this Green Goblin. It just looked too good, man. And the William Dafoe head sculpt on here, man, it looks like it's something serious. I heard the articulation in the ab area really ain't all that, but I don't plan on doing too much with this guy. I think I'm really pleased with the aesthetic, and it's not like a Diamond Select, like it won't move. It can move, but just not the way you may say want it, or I really want it to. If I really want him crotching, but I understand. But I won't be able to tell until I open this up, man. So MCU Green Goblin, man, pick that up from BBTS.
That's it, I love it.
Also, something I've been waiting on to do a review on. I got Mutt and Junkyard. Like I said, I've been waiting on this since last week. Of course, with New Year's Day, the mail system's kind of slowed down, which is cool with me. I just want to review the guy. I got this big greenery behind me. I got Snake Eyes' wolves right here, ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be like the first day of spring. He gonna invite Snake Eyes to the dog park. Let the dogs run. They can holler at some women.
Oh Lord, the bitches, yo, they do anything for this man.
Of course, with G.I. Joe, man, I'm pretty much almost caught up. So I'll never be the first, man, but now I'll be a little bit more current on doing my reviews on Joes. But that is weekly pickups from Big Bad Toy Store. Welcome to another episode of G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe. Yo, Joe! The year all slow. News is kind of slow right now, so let's jump right into it. And the first thing I've kind of experienced from G.I. Joe is classified is basically what is going on here with the Big Ben and Range Viper showing up now. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are getting a hold of these figures pretty easily. And what I've noticed is, Big Nerdy has a stock. Then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, Walmart gets the stock. And of course, you know, the smaller stores and comic stores get the toys. So what I think has happened, which we kind of figured anyway, that huge purge from a couple of months ago, where they were just letting loose all these toys, just get them out of here, so they can finally let loose these toys that really was supposed to drop like summer, fall, like the Range Viper, Big Ben. They're gonna be a little bit more ready and available. Those retro cards, get those out there. And of course, they didn't want to unleash those on the huge stock of toys they got. I believe they got rid of a lot of G.I. Joe. Maybe not enough, but I know I brought a lot. Like I brought off Walmart the Big Ben like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago for $37. Now you can find him for regular price. He's selling out quick, but it's making people jump on it. Oh, I really need that. I already got all the G.I. Joe I want, and I didn't care. I needed Big Ben through that 1 through 100, and I've gotten so much G.I. Joe on discount. Like I don't even care, man. I of course will play regular price, but I paid a little bit over for him, which I haven't done that ever since the beginning of the line, maybe paying overpriced for a figure, but I needed him. But I think I'm going to start seeing those figures starting to show up. Retro, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Crimson Guards, Big Ben, Range Vipers, and everything is going to be pretty much up to speed, because we are pretty much kind of up to speed. Still got a few more things to get through. I think they're probably going to do a few more purges, trying to get those figured off so they can be leveled off by the time next year hits. But make a long story short, I ordered 3 Range Vipers off Walmart the other night like it wasn't shit. Okay, and I got Big Ben a couple of weeks ago, and now all of a sudden Big Nerdy has the Storm Shadow, Crimson Vipers, and like I said, if somebody need to come across that Snake Eyes, if you ever see him, let me know, because I believe those figures are going to start hitting the market. Also, a Punk with Toys did a Snow Job and Recondo head swap. I don't know if he was the first person to do it, but I was the first person. I looked at the channel and seen it, and man, I was looking for something to do with that Snow Job head sculpt, and he was right. It's too good looking to be sitting in a drawer somewhere. And everybody's got a shitload of those Recondos. I know I just brought a couple of them. I could already do it, but I'm looking for some, like Recondo been on sale forever. I'm looking for some that got smashed up that I brought from Target almost a year ago. And they basically gave them to me for free. I'd rather open those up and use those for fatigue bodies. So if you want to make that work, I think that looks pretty cool. It can take Snow Job out of that Arctic background and actually put them in the jungle or the woods. A guy on Facebook did this Storm Shadow and Snow Serpent head swap, and I think that's pretty cool. Of course, you know, in the cartoon, I don't even know if in the comics Storm Shadow didn't wear that Arctic gear. He was just out there. But it's a cool head swap, and it looks like it's easy and ready to do. This is pretty cool right here. I forgot the name of the episode, but it's the episode when they meet Shipwreck, and it's Flint and Mutt and Junkyard, and they're dressed up like Cobra soldiers. Somebody's took their head sculpts, being that we got Mutt now, and put them on Cobra Infantry, and that's pretty dope. When I seen that, I'm like, yo, I could take that to the diorama table and mix them in with the Cobra Army and make a photo out of it, man. So that was pretty cool. Good heads up, and that's what this G.I. Joe should be. Heads up. Boombada put Gridiron Studios aerial like helmet on Mutt and Junkyard, and that looks pretty cool too. Somebody did like a kit bash and put a movie Storm Shadow head, I believe that's movie Storm Shadow, or it might be Snake Eyes, either one of them, on a Cobra body. And those are good heads. I don't know if they fit or you have to Dremel them out, but I've been meaning to look for those heads like Henry Goldman and whoever played the Storm Shadow guy, if I have his head, and try to put them on, you know, some of the classified characters, man. I've been seeing it done, but I thought that looked pretty decent, man, to try to make something happen. I seen this a couple of weeks ago, but of course, you know, we haven't been doing Soapbox, but a guy, I think he said off eBay or Amazon, ordered like some little skinny, almost kind of like pinhole magnets, and then putting them in the footholes of G.I. Joes and taking the metal washers and using that as stands. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. He also did something that was strong enough to hold a Spider-Man upside down. So if you are into that, and some guy even brought a metal sheet, just a piece of sheet metal to put down and have those magnets in the footholes and just help you do unique stands, man. I thought that was a brilliant idea. I believe he said you can get those little magnets off eBay. 3/4 inch. They had to be smaller, maybe like 1/8 inch, because those pinholes are small to go inside the footholes, man. But I thought that was a cool and interesting idea. All right, we're gonna get into a couple of photos here. This first one is a guy named Sean Carnery, I believe, Carney. He actually has a YouTube channel where he does diorama pieces, and I thought this was a pretty cool photo of Chuckles. It almost kind of reminds me of Pulp Fiction, like looking in the mirror driving that Malibu and shit. But Chuckles, like I said, he's not a star, man. He's like a B-list celebrity, but he's the type of guy you can kind of just throw him in any movie, man, and you can kind of make him work out, and I think this was cool. Also, Century Productions. I learned about this guy through ACBA, and he's a strictly ACBA. That's what he do. He take pictures, and he has a YouTube channel, but he is about that life of taking pictures, and I thought this picture was deep right here. I don't know if this is Big Ben, but just the picture with the dead bodies with the white sheets over, you see the little red dots from their mortal wounds, and he's just sitting there soaking. I just thought that was a deep picture. I thought it was dope. In real life, that has to be something kind of crucial to deal with. Because to be honest with you, the human person is not supposed to see that much carnage and death at one time, man. And even the music he had with it, and I thought this was a masterpiece. He's really dope on Instagram. He'll show you, just like how I did the diorama, he'll show you pretty much how he got it set up, and then that last thing he'll swoop in and go right into the camera frame, and you can see the actual frame of the picture, man. So shout out to Century Productions. This picture right here is my man Lawrence Jordan. He just became one of my Instagram buddies, man, and I thought this was a pretty dope picture. He complimented me on my pic, and shout out to everybody, man, who has came on the Instagram, who's shown love, who subscribed over the past couple of weeks. We had a pretty good couple of weeks on here on the channel, man, and I thank y'all, man. I hope y'all like the content. We're gonna keep putting it out. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, put your bell notifications on, because my views have kind of picked up, and I think I put out some pretty good content, man. So you know what I got pumping, because we pretty much put it out weekly here, man. But thank you, everybody. But Lawrence Jordan is on my Instagram, and he did this pretty dope picture here. He came over, liked my picture. I went back over to his, and I seen this picture right here, and he had the perfect song, We Tell Them War Stories, off the Tupac album, and it's just got G.I. Joe at the table. And this is kind of diorama shooting I want to get into. I'm into the big field shooting, which I'm laying out now, but also the most close quarters. Has to really do with a lot of lighting, and I like this picture right here. And so shout out to you, brother. And this is also a blue ninja, and I just kind of like this picture. It looked like the ninja kind of fell out of the fodder bin with all these mixed matched parts, just kind of like walking out, and I just thought that was dope, man. I really find love and beauty in all action figures, man, and kind of can start moving with my imagination on what's going on, and that looks pretty dope. This is the Savage Land. We do this for the love and beauty of action figures, and I want to give a shout out, man, to Unc's Reviews. Appreciate you, brother, man. Shout me out on your channel, man. I salute you. You doing your thing, man.
You getting down, nigga?
I want to see you up there with the wrestling, like how Kyle Peterson is, My Damn Toys, Heel Figs, and all those guys. You deserve to be there too, because I know your passion is there. Just me watching a live stream, you'll kind of spark me wanting to watch wrestling again. I ain't watched wrestling in God knows when. I've collected more figures than I've watched wrestling, and all of those figures go back to my era, late 80s, early 90s, as a kid, seeing these larger than life athletes move around, man. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to Lyle's Figure Files, man. Shout out to you, family. Love watching that brother live streams, man, and I think he should be up on the top, also way up top too. And also shout out to Uncle Tim, man, for sending people over. That was like first time I've had people like almost like a boss, like, hey, Tim said go over there, and people showing up, man, and I got a few subscribers off that, man. So I appreciate you, family. Thank you, man. I shout out to you, brothers. But this is the Savage Land. This is the Soapbox. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're back up and going with it, man. So hopefully we'll be back here next week to wrap it up and talk and see what's up. Also, I got a review, some diorama review I just did, my first table diorama. So if you guys haven't seen that, check that out. Also got some more videos coming up. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless. Oh yeah, and Nino, tell them how you feel, cuz.
See ya, and I wouldn't want to be here.
Rock-a-ball, baby.